All right, so we're here today doing a little something different. Not fishing today, but we're doing every fisherman's other favorite hobby, drinking some beer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Anyway, we're not just drinking any beer. Today we're going to run through some beer with fish on the label or some sort of fish inspiration, see which one we like the best. Now some of you may have watched my buddy Ethan here's video where we did a very similar thing. And in that video, we decided that we liked Trout Slayer the best of the options, so we brought it back to try to let it defend its title as best beer for fishermen. Now besides the Trout Slayer, all of these other beers, I guess I shouldn't say beers, this one here is a cider.
Ooh, yeah. You like it.
But they're in the same family. They're all actually made in Michigan, which is pretty cool. So yeah, without further ado, we're going to run through a quick intro and crack them open. So first here we have the Black River Oatmeal Stout from Paw Paw Brewing Company, or just west of Kalamazoo. This is an oatmeal stout. On the front, it's got a guy doing a little fly fishing, and no fish were harmed in the making of this beer.
No way.
Which is very important to know.
Absolutely.
All right, now the next libation, since it's not quite a beer, is a hard cider from Star Cut Ciders, which is actually part of Shorts, which is neat. It's another Michigan company. So this isn't just a cider, it is a cider fermented with apples and then blended with orange juice. Oh. So they're going for kind of like a mimosa type deal. So maybe you get up in the morning, get out to your shanty to start ice fishing, want to crack open a little more of a morning drink, maybe we go with this.
Ooh, tasty. I tell you what, folks, here we have a Ludington Bay 9-weight. It's an East Coast style double IPA. I don't know about you, but I love me a good IPA. This thing's dry hopped India Pale Ale with copious amounts of Amarillo and Centennial hops. I have no idea what that means, but I'm looking forward to tasting it. You think there's any fish slime in this beer?
Next up we have the Rogue River Brown Ale from our friends over at Rockford Brewing Company, which is just down the road from us. This is probably the coolest can design of the bunch, I think, as far as just simple, but still not simple. It's simple yet complex at the same time.
Love it.
Also of note is this super cool barcode thing. They actually made it look like a fish, which is awesome. The last newcomer we have is the First Brown Ale from Atwater Brewery. Brewed in Detroit, but there's actually a tap room here in Grand Rapids, which is pretty sweet. And this just says, it is brewed to honor the first brown trout found in Liquid, Michigan. I don't know, did they find one in not Liquid, Michigan before?
Well, there was the history of the walking brown trout.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
makes
yes.
sense. Apparently that was
Evolution.
in 1884. And then the last one we have, as I noted earlier, the Trout Slayer from Big Sky Brewing out in Montana. Won our challenge the last time, so it's back to defend its title.
Fair.
All
Okay,
right.
here you go.
Let's get
Pop the top, brother. Ooh, I love that sound.
Best sound. All right, well, here we go.
Cheers.
First one. Cheers. Getting right after it.
Oh, was I supposed to smell it? I didn't know we were wine tasting.
I'm just trying to give each
Smooth,
one its
man.
fair chance.
Smooth.
Yeah.
It's a double IPA. I was expecting far more bitter than that.
Yeah, it's not very bitter at all.
I think it tastes pretty tasty.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty good.
I honestly, man, it's like so hard for me to ever drink a beer and be like, oh, that's disgusting. I just don't do it.
It's happened.
I mean, it's not the best IPA I've ever had.
No, it's not. And this is when you claim to use a copious amount of hops, I'm expecting like to be punched in the face by just
By
like
a hop.
hop. You're right. And I'm not getting that.
No, I honestly,
Like it's not bad, but it's just
it's drinkable, but I definitely, like, if this would have been in the last competition,
No
to
way.
me, it would have got just destroyed, solely because we had Two Hearted in the mix, which is probably one of arguably the best IPAs in the world.
right. Let's talk about the label a little bit then. It's nice.
I like it.
It's simple. Kind of like the name 9-weight. It's like
That's a big fly rod right there.
Yeah,
bud.
that's pretty. It's a big one.
It's big stuff.
But I feel like if you're gonna name it 9-weight, it needs that
Ooh,
hot
yeah.
punch.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about it that way. I like it. I like the pastel type color. Like the blue is really like a neat color, and then there's just the trees on the background. I think it's a really nice looking can. Not the coolest thing in the world, but definitely a solid pickup for sure. And I would drink it again. And 7.7% alcohol by volume. I mean,
you don't need too many of them.
You just need.
You get yourself in trouble with that because it's pretty drinkable.
Yeah, it is. It is very drinkable. That's a good point. I mean, I guess. You would have thought it would have had so much punch. It does have punch. It's just, you don't know it.
Right.
Do we want to do that cider?
Sure. We'll get into the cider next.
Ooh, gluten-free.
Cheers.
I gotta smell it.
Yeah. That's pretty tasty.
It's very tasty. Very citrusy.
Mm-hmm.
Let me read this can.
I'm usually not the hugest cider fan, but every now and then one comes along that I like a lot. And this could be one of those.
I really do like the label too. I think it's neat. It's really like a cool looking fish. Not like a fishing fish.
No.
But definitely like a really neat looking can.
I can see that.
Remember that? Drinkability factor?
Oh, that is important. Because, when you go out and fish, you don't just go out and fish for 10, 15, 20 minutes. You're out there for hours.
If you're hardcore like us, that is.
Right, yeah. I mean, unless you're like really good, you can just go out there and nail a 10-pounder on your first cast, and you might.
That's not us.
That's not us, no. 10-incher maybe.
It takes us 10 lifetimes for a 10-pounder. I wonder if we ever will catch 10-pounder.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I'm never going to catch a 10-pounder.
Well, I am.
He will. He'll catch one for me.
Not on video, though.
No, it'll be...
My GoPro will explode.
It'll be one of those where, like, your camera dies and then 4 seconds later it's...
Yeah, like I totally caught one. I just don't have any pictures or video.
Right. My phone died, too. Actually, if I got a 10-pounder, I'd probably, like, lose my mind. My phone would fall in the lake.
That would probably happen. I also like it when... I don't know why I like it, but I like it when cans are just like a plain silver can and they have the wrap. It's like you normally just see like the printed on stuff with like the dye, but I always kind of like it when they have like the wrap on there. It's probably I don't know if it's a lower cost. It probably is lower
cheaper,
cost.
because then you can, when you're at your brewery and you're ordering cans, you can just order like 1,000 silver cans and put a different label on it for each one.
True. It's probably lower cost for small breweries, smaller breweries. Probably higher cost for big ones.
I guess that's cool.
I smell the trout in it.
Yeah, it smells.
They grind up brown trout in these, right?
Yeah, I think so. That's why they had to specify that there were no fish harm, because these ones have real brown trout.
Yes.
That's why they're brown.
Brown, yes, absolutely. All right.
So cheers.
It's just a freaking good beer, I think.
Yeah, it's solid. There's no one flavor that like stands out, but it's very well balanced.
I just think it's just fantastic. I've always been kind of a brown ale kind of guy, though. I don't know why. They're just kind of different. They're smooth. I really like them, and I think that's a really good one. I'm not gonna lie. I've had this beer before. I bought a 6-pack of it not that long ago, and I enjoyed every last drop.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, I'm hit or miss on brown ales. Some of them I really enjoy. Some of them there's something about them that's a little off-putting. I can't put my finger on it, or else I would know which ones to buy. So I just buy them all and like some of them and not like some of them.
Yeah.
But this is one of the ones that I do enjoy.
Now I'm excited because we have another brown ale on the way.
So next up, we have the first brown ale. Probably not the first brown ale ever made, obviously.
Oh, it is.
But it is, like I said earlier, is to commemorate the first ever brown trout found, caught, I don't know, spotted, in the great state of Michigan.
It's a pretty great state. Let's just reflect on Michigan for a minute. Let me see that label real quick.
So a lot of times on beer labels, they'll say pairs well with, and they'll give you some food listings. This one, they got witty with it. They said pairs with 1884, the Pere Marquette River, and all things trouty.
Ooh, all things trouty, huh?
Yeah.
I had my funny bone, and this is not funny.
All right. Anyway, back to the first brown ale here. No patience for your problem.
Damn, dude, how much are you drinking? All All right. I'll see yours and I'll raise you.
Okay. Hopefully this one's good.
It sure as heck.
Atwater can be hit or miss.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Atwater. Shoot, I forgot. I'm not a huge Atwater guy.
All right. Well, cheers. Hope for the best.
Oh God.
It doesn't smell as good as the last one.
It smells brown. Kind of got some chocolatey notes in there.
Yeah, it's not as good as the last one. It's not bad by any means.
It's kind of different. It's like chocolate water.
Fair enough.
So it's not like a Yoo-hoo though.
No.
Yoo-hoos are good.
Yeah, my dad's a big fan.
This video is sponsored by Yoo-hoo. It's not.
But could be.
For only $10,000 per video. You know what it tastes like? A Tootsie Pop. That's the chocolate one.
Okay.
That's what it tastes like to me. I mean, not as strong because that's like a candy, but like
Right.
it has that faint. That's the chocolate that I
Yeah, I can feel that.
Tootsie Pop sponsors this video. Everyone, go out and buy a Tootsie Pop. Tell them that Fish O'Clock Somewhere sent you.
Yeah.
You'll get 10% off.
They'll probably charge you 10% more. Taking one step further into the dark beer land, we're going with Black River Oatmeal Stout from Paw Paw Brewing. So this one gives you some instructions on how to drink it. Yeah. So this one says to cast, sip, wait, sip, and then repeat.
When do you hook the fish?
You don't.
At least you drink a tasty beer.
Right. They know how we fish. The hooking fish part is few and far between.
No.
Also, to contradict that, pretty hard to do all of that while you're fly fishing.
Yeah, wait a second.
Unless you're supposed to wear one of those like beer drinking hats while you're fishing.
Oh.
There's an idea for a video.
Now hold on.
He's not.
That's a wonderful idea. He could though have a camelback that we don't see.
That's true.
Filled with beer. I love stouts.
You okay over there?
I'm making weird noises for you. I don't know. Quite
it's
honestly.
kind of bland.
Yeah, I mean, like, I like stouts a lot, and it's kind of not
It's just,
great.
I feel like it's easy to fall, like stouts, there's a lot of them that just, you're drinking and you're like, yeah, that's a stout. And then you're like, cool. I feel like there's a lot of those out there, and this is just one of those.
Yeah, it's good,
Or
but
if you
it's
put
not
this on a
great.
panel with like a bunch of other oatmeal stouts, you could find 30 different ones that tasted just like this.
Probably, yeah. It's a good point. It's a good way of putting it.
But not all of them have sweet label, so.
Yeah, and I mean, this really comes down to multiple factors. It's drinkability, it's the label, it's the aesthetics, right? As well as the taste. And when you have an average to decent beer paired with a kick-ass label and pretty decent drinkability, you put yourself in pretty decent shape. She's in contention.
We are filming a video here. So back
Yes.
to the reigning champion, the Trout Slayer Wheatail. Where this has got it all. It's got the fish, it's got the river, it's got the guy who definitely knows what he's doing.
He's a badass.
Unlike us. And he's catching the fish, so.
Speak for yourself, bro.
You don't look like this out there. I
No,
don't
I
see you
don't.
wheeling the fly rod, catching big old trout.
Check that trout out real quick.
Yeah. Common theme of the trout.
It's a nice trout. Yeah.
Because, except maybe for the cider.
The cider
If
is
you catch
not
a
even
fish that looks like that, talk to the DNR. They're going to want to see it.
That is true.
All right, let's get into the Trout Slayer here.
Tastes the same, man.
Yeah.
Tastes the same.
It's such a different taste than everything else we've tried.
Yeah. It's definitely, I mean, if this is winter edition, right?
Right.
Then some of the other ones have a little bit of an advantage.
That's
but
true.
Still a good beer, nonetheless.
Right?
Hey, Karma. What kind of beer do you like? If you're still watching, drop a comment below. We applaud you.
Tell me what your favorite beer is. It doesn't have to be a fish beer. If it is, maybe you'll get bonus points.
I would also like to know. I'll make sure to just creep on all your comments.
Yeah,
And I'll just reply. Be like, hey, man, It's a tasty beer.
Yeah, good choice.
Unless it's not.
So I'll put them in my order. We can discuss, maybe move one around or so, and then come up with our final.
She has funny faces.
But just the fact that you like, as soon as you did that, she's like, "What is going on?"
She didn't like it.
No.
It's the final countdown. Ooh. Nice.
Anyway, so we've reached the point in this broadcast where we are we're gonna rank these guys.
All right.
What are your thoughts?
Well, you knew number one for me.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It was very obvious. I'm a huge fan of this beer right here. It's just beautiful. The Rogue River Brown, folks. To me, that is number one, so I 100% concur. I was kind of surprised that you put the Cider as number two.
I enjoyed it a lot.
It is tasty. I'm not going to lie. I probably personally would have put the Stout second and then the Cider. But pretty much everything else I would 100% agree with. And again, that's just personal preference. I know there's only 3 of you left, but stay tuned because we are about to do the Catfish Stomach, which is an absolute tradition. It's hilarious. It's a good time.
Now we are down to, moves it like a centimeter, but the 2 champions bracket. And honestly, I don't think it's fair to compare them.
No.
Because they're so different, and they each have their own time of the year where I would pick one over the other. And that's no disrespect to either beer, it's just seasonality.
100%. So let's put it this way. Let's say that it's a cold, dreary day, and you're going out and you want to catch some trout. You're out on the river, you're in your waders, you're just looking for some trout. Which one do you choose? I personally would go with this one.
Yeah.
Now, if it's hot, it's sunny, you're also wading in the river, you're also going for trout, but it's hot and it's sunny. You go with that one. I'm 100% with you. Mm-hmm. They're both beautiful. They're both delicious. But they both have their place.
It is time for the moment none of you were waiting for.
Except for me.
Except for us. And that is, we're going to put a little bit of all of them in this glass and give it a go.
Catfish stomach.
Catfish stomach. Hashtag catfish stomach. Catfish stomach o'clock somewhere.
Well, I tell you what though.
It smells
fruity, yet chocolatey.
It kind of does though, because like the first thing I smelled, it smelled like this one.
The cider. Oh.
And then the next time I smelled it, all I smelled was the cider.
I smell the cider a lot. It does have a nice scent.
Make it into a candle. Mark it as a catfish stomach candle.
Oh my gosh. He's on to something.
Alright, well let's give this a shot. I don't think it's going to be that bad.
I do. I don't know, it's just weird.
Yeah.
It's sweet, yet succulent.
Alright, so we didn't come to a total definite decision of what the best beer on the table is, but we found our 2 favorites seasonally, and I'm happy with that decision.
And this time of season, with a new beer, second session of the beer fish competition, whatever we want to call it, this is the winner, right? I mean, this is the winner of this season.
Yes, correct.
Boom.
The winter fall.
Rogue River Brown.
Taking it home.
You the man.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us today. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. May do something like this again in the future. Hopefully.
Absolutely, we will.
But hopefully we'll get some real fishing footage out to you soon. Waiting on the weather to kind of cooperate, either to get cold enough to ice fish or get a little warm enough to get the fish active and catch them in open water. But, well, anyway, until next time, remember, it's fish o'clock somewhere.
It sure is.
And better to burp and taste it than fart and waste it. Take home message.